is NDTV and you are watching NDTV Prime.
It is time once again to get on to CNB Bazaar Buzz here on the NDTV network. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Patankar. Thank you for joining us and welcome to a brand new episode. We get started first with a look at today's lineup. In the 125cc space, the new Bajaj V12 takes on the Honda Shine. Tata Prima Truck Racing is back at the BIC. A vintage car rally from DLF in Delhi. And we get our hands on the Cayenne and the Macan and go off-road. Now let's talk about the V12 from Bajaj, which is trying to capture a little more of the attention of the 125cc buyer, more than the V15 really was trying to do as well. Remember, both those bikes are really targeting the 125cc space, not really the 150cc space. And that means, of course, you have to take on the big leader in that segment, which is the Honda Shine. How does the new V12 fare against the mighty Shine? Let's find out.
Meet the Bajaj V12, the newest motorcycle in the 125cc commuter segment and the latest addition to the Bajaj V series. What's new? Well, it's an all-new 125cc motorcycle, but actually you could say it's a downsized version of the V15 with similar design. Overall, the V12 looks more or less identical to the V15, with same body parts, design and the same Heritage V brand marketing. But now the V12 has a smaller engine and a few minor changes. The V15's 150cc engine has been downsized to displace the 125cc one. The wheels now are single 5-spoke alloys and get slimmer tires. The decals are slightly different and the V12 misses out on a front disc brake.
Now 125cc motorcycles are commuter class bikes which offer decent fuel economy and that extra power than say a 100-110cc bike. Now these bikes account for about a lakh and a half units every month, and it is a slice of this segment that Bajaj wants to grab with the new V12. Problem is, more than half those numbers belong to Honda's best-selling 125cc motorcycle, the Honda CB Shine, and its 5-speed gearbox variant, the CB Shine SP.
And the CB Shine is not only Honda's most successful motorcycle worldwide, but also the largest selling 125cc motorcycle in the world. Honda Motorcycle and Scooter India has sold over 50 lakh CB Shine bikes so far in India, since the model was introduced in 2007. And in 2015, Honda introduced another variant of the CB Shine with a 5-speed gearbox, the CB Shine SP, the bike we are riding. On the move, the Bajaj V12 performs as expected. The seating position feels a little awkward, but it's not uncomfortable. Ride quality is decent on the city streets, and the torque engine and short 5th gear doesn't see too many gear changes in traffic, so commuting is a breeze on the V12. With its muscular looks, the V12 seeks to address the needs of a customer who is looking for something different. The Honda CB Shine, on the other hand, has everything going for it. Very good build quality, refined engine, comfortable ergonomic, good ride quality and nimble handling. Traits which make it the near-perfect commuter for city riding. And it's only after swapping bikes that you begin to notice the differences. The clutch on the V12 is harder, so the Honda wins there. And the gears are a little too clunky, with a not so ergonomically placed gear lever. So the Honda gets full marks there as well. The Bajaj V12 does a lot of things quite satisfactorily. It looks good, performs satisfactorily, and is certain to attract the customer who will be looking for a commuter bike with different looks. The V12 comes in just one variant, a drum brake variant, while the CB Shine is available from the base variant with a 4-speed gearbox and going up to the CB Shine SP with a 5-speed gearbox and combined braking system. And though the top-of-the-line Honda CB Shine SP with 5-speed gearbox, disc brake and combined braking system is over 4,000 rupees more expensive, if you compare the base variant CB Shine, the Honda is still 1,200 rupees cheaper than the Bajaj. Eventually, the Honda overall emerges as the winner in this comparison with better quality and more value for money.
Tata Prima Truck Racing. Now, this has become quite the annual fixture at the Buddh International Circuit. It's something which most people had never seen before, and truck racing to begin with is something that gets a lot of excitement going because, well, these beasts really know how to take each other on. Here's all the action from this year's race.
The Season 4 of the Tata Motors T1 Prima Truck Racing Championship had 4 races in total on the race day. The first of the 4 races was the Superclass category consisting of Indian drivers, which was won by 29-year-old Pitambar from Uttar Pradesh. The second and third positions on the podium were taken by Shivnihal Singh and Gurujant Singh from Uttar Pradesh as well. The circuit was shortened to 3.1 km instead of the regular 5.13 km for the T1 Prima Truck Racing Championship.
It is not an uncommon sight to see cars, bikes and single-seaters racing at the Buddh International Circuit. But proper trucks battling it out feels something else altogether. This is the 4th edition of the Tata Prima T1 Truck Racing Championships, and it is a rather interesting sight to watch these trucks burn rubber like nobody's business.
The second race for the Indian drivers was the champion class drivers, wherein Nagarjuna A from Andhra Pradesh bagged the first position, followed by Malkeet Singh and Bhag Chand taking up the second and the third positions respectively. Up next was the first race of the Pro class, which saw international drivers taking centre stage. It also served as the qualifier for the final race for the overall championship. Although the race was scheduled for 10 laps, it was called off after lap number 6 when Ryan Smith's truck was stuck in the gravel trap at corner 3. One could see a marked difference between the driving style of the Indian drivers and the international drivers. The racing lines were different and there was a lot more controlled aggression, with neither driver giving an inch to the other. So as it would happen, David Wasecki, racing for team dealer Daredevils, took the first position, with Gerard Kober and defending champion David Jenkins taking the second and the third positions. In the last race for the day, the Pro class drivers took to the track again for the overall championship in a 15-lap race. It was David Wasecki again who emerged triumphant, while Norbert Kiss and Gerard Kober lapped up the second and the third positions. The overall trophy went to David Wasecki.
A quick look now at some of the beautiful cars that showed up at a DLF Vintage Car Rally that was organized in the nation's capital. And I can tell you that a lot of these really beautifully preserved and well-maintained vehicles show not just how beautiful they look, but just how much pride and joy they bring to their owners as well. Cyrus was at the rally.
If you're one of those many people who haven't partied till 3 a.m. on a Saturday night, Sundays are usually reserved for things you love, like spending time with your family. Or in case you're a petrol head like we are, it's spending time with your cars. Especially if your car is this old, this lovely, and the weather is just this great. The DLF Golf Course in Gurgaon played host to 28 pristine classic and vintage cars on a pleasant March Sunday morning, with some of the nicest machines turning up at this invitational event. from a selection of absolutely phenomenal vintage Rolls-Royces and Bentleys to a wide array of chrome-filled Americana from the pre-war and post-war period, there was something for everyone. The short vintage and classic car rally, organized jointly by the Heritage Motoring Club of India and DLF, flagged off from the golf course in Gurgaon towards Cyber Hub and then on to the DLF Emporium Mall in Delhi. Not only did these two lovely cars on the streets of Gurgaon and Delhi attract a large audience, but Sunday afternoon lunch goers and shoppers at the two stops were in for quite a surprise too. After all, it's not always that you get to see 24 classic cars drive through a mall, right? Some of the cars that stood out for us are the Buick Super 8, in which we were lucky enough to be passengers for the rally, a lightly modified Ford Consul with an aftermarket exhaust and wire wheels, and a lovely late model 60s Cobra with a 500 horsepower Ford Performance V8 under the hood. Although this particular rally was invitational, we do hope that the classic and vintage car scene in Delhi revives itself soon, as seeing these lovely beauties back on the road is one of the nicest ways to spend your Sunday morning.
We take a short break here on Bazaar Buzz, but we are back with answers to lots of your queries and the Porsche Macan going off-road too.